Hey, you guys, welcome to the show. This is a Firefighter Financial Toolbox. I decided to make a video to kind of tell people what I'm really all about. My name is Brad. I've been a career firefighter for about 18 years for a large department here in Oregon. And I've made a bunch of financial mistakes in my life. The problem with making mistakes is A, you learn from them, but B, you lose time with them, particularly in investing. And I did. So I educated myself. Now, let me start by saying, first and foremost, I am not a financial expert. I'm not a financial planner. I don't play one on YouTube. I'm just a guy who feels it's important to get the word out because in investing, nobody teaches you this stuff. Unless you go to school for it and you study it just for that, most people don't have an idea about investing. And that's important because we all are going to retire someday, hopefully. And we need to have enough money to make a living after we stop working. And the only way to do that is to save and invest. Now, as I said, I've made some big mistakes in my life. I have a few cardinal rules that I live by now in investing. One, start early. Okay, that's the first one I didn't do. When I was 20, I felt like I had forever. Why hurry? There's no hurry. I can do it, right? I'm going to have fun with my friends. I don't want to save money. Big mistake. I didn't educate myself about what I was investing in at first. I just put money in my 401k, mainly because my company had an opt-out clause, which thankfully I didn't opt out. So they took 3%, which is what they matched. Now, I didn't make very much money back then, and 3,000 or 3% was probably maybe $1,000. But when I left that company, I cashed out my 401k. That was another dumb mistake. So fast forward a few years, I'm in my early to mid 30s, and I realize I only have 15 more years, 20 years till I can retire from the fire department. I need to educate myself so that I'll have enough money that if I want to retire young, I can. So I asked some questions, and there's a lot of people who don't know the answers to stuff. And there's a lot of things out there that are misinformation. I learned a couple of things. I told you, first thing, start early. Second thing, cost matters. So when you're picking whatever investments you pick, make sure you look at the expenses on them. They add up over time. I've made a video about how fees matter, and the difference between a 0.04 expense ratio and a 0.44 is about $13,000 in taxes over 20 years, or in fees over 20 years, I'm sorry. So that's a big difference. When you pick your workplace plan, remember, pick the lowest cost fee fund that will work for you. Taxes are important too. Remember, the nice thing about investing in a workplace plan, be it a 457, a 401k, a 403b, is that you can save taxes up front, and it stays tax deferred until you take it, right? If you use a Roth, which is my favorite, you pay the taxes up front. Right now, we're in a low tax environment. Pay the taxes up front, you get it, it grows for 20, 25 years. You take it out, it's all tax free, all the growth. That is important. Next thing is invest often and think long-term. So when's the best time to invest? Yesterday. What's the best time to invest now? Today. The longer you wait, the more it's out. Now, I realize there's a lot of talk about an upcoming recession. There's a talk about how the stock market's at all-time highs. Well, here's the thing. Before it dropped in 2008, the S&P 500 was an all-time high. It was 1,500. And then it dropped about 40% almost. Guess where we're at now? We're at 3,000. It's doubled in 11 years. So yes, it is high, but it always goes up. Well, it historically has always gone up, and it's averaged about 8 to 10% annually. Now, does that mean it's that much every year? Of course not. Stock market goes up and down. There's risk involved. The more stocks you have, the riskier it is. Yes, you could theoretically lose half of your money, but the reward is worth it. And so anyway, I had a lot of people, once they started seeing that I was into this at work, started asking me questions. So I decided it'd be a good idea. Hey, why don't I make a YouTube channel where I can make videos and talk about this stuff? So as I said, not a professional. Making videos is not as easy as I thought it was either. But I'm learning. If you guys have any comments or any ideas for me you want me to talk about, let me know. I'm glad to make the video for it. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little quick once over, just to give you an idea who I am and what I'm about on the channel here. And appreciate you joining me, and I hope I get you subscribed and like the channel. If you do, it helps me out. I'll keep making videos. All right. Thanks a lot.